Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to War on the Sea, episode 37. We're going to kick it off with an airstrike. It's an airstrike on a small group of surface ships, one light cruiser and two destroyers that I was looking for. And the Dauntlesses have found them. Now it's time to take these things out of play. It's not really required for me to identify them, I just need to know that they are no longer a threat. The Guardfish and the Amberjack happen to be in the area, because, well, we're operating pretty close together with all of these units. So that means that these guys are, well, they're not actually going to be doing any fighting, but they are in the AO. Now the plan here is to strike out the light cruiser. Or actually maybe the destroyers would make more sense, because they're more likely to run off. Okay, you're going to attack target 2, you're going to attack target 3. And we'll see who needs another serving. I'm still not sure which is the best formation for attacking, well, with Dauntless bombers. There is something to be said for the Vic, because you're making a wider pattern. There's also something to be said for line up, so formation line. I haven't really found the ideal formation yet. So we're just going to have to do this with the Vic. Although I believe that the guys, when they go on the offensive, they're going to do singular dive bombing runs anyway. It's not like they maintain formation Vic, do they? They do? Huh. We're diving simultaneously with two wings. Bombs away. Serious damage against the destroyers. Gentlemen, time to leave. That way. Yeah, that's an unhappy destroyer, and the other guy doesn't seem to be in terribly good shape either. Moderate damage and heavy damage. Okay. I would need to hit 3 again, and I might be able to sink it. And that way there's only one destroyer operating, so that the submarines might be able to come in and kill them off. So, wing 9. We're going to go after the already heavily wounded target 3. And we're going to take it out. At least, that's the plan. I'm not sure how effective strafing... Oh. Never mind, target 3 is done for. New plan. Attack target 2. Attack target 2. We're going to take out target 2, which is the other destroyer. And that way the destroyers are no longer a threat to the submarines can take out the light cruiser. Maybe not during this encounter, because they're a very, very serious distance away. But at least the submarines won't have to worry as much. I'm also very much awaiting the arrival of the Washington and Massachusetts on the front line. I'm gonna have a lot of fun using those guys in combat. There's the formation. Didn't lose a single aircraft to that. That's also excellent, because it's a long way back to base to resupply. Considering the damage on this thing, I think we only need to have one good hit on him, and that should be sufficient. One dud, and that seemed to be one of the smaller bombs. Okay, don't stay in the area. Get the hell out. We didn't actually hit it that well. Heavy damage and moderate flooding. Could try adding to their troubles by doing a strafing run, but I'm not sure if that's effective with Dauntless bombers. But if this thing just needs a little nudge to get sunk, it might work. At least we're going to add to their damage control issues. Very good. Form up on 9 and get out. Did that do anything? Just for science? No. Still heavy and moderate. Okay. So that's at least one destroyer less to worry about. Now we need to be sending, I think, 18, well, one of the 18s, that way and intercepting them. While also having the Hornet launch additional aircraft, which she cannot do yet. We're gonna have to wait a bit. Really? Another scout aircraft? Oh, that might have been launched by that light cruiser. That might be it. These guys are RTB. Speaking of RTBs, do I have any guys at base who need attention? The Taylor. Heavily damaged. Release. Okay. So you're going to get repaired. You guys are no longer RTB. This is Bluefish. Bluefish group. Not to be confused with the Blue Man group. Very different entity entirely. You guys are empty, you know? You can just come back here. Hornets ready to launch again. Very good. That's what we'll do. This time around, we're going to go with Avengers. We're going to send them out with torpedo bombs. Or, well, with torpedoes. They are torpedo bombers after all. And see if we can re-encounter that group. To make sure it's no longer operational here. I'm still missing a Congo and a Musashi somewhere in the Solomon Sea. Although the Congo was last seen here, but I think it got heavily damaged and sent back to port. Potentially for repairs, because it doesn't, well, it probably doesn't need resupply. Looks like Washington's task force is doing some sightseeing over here, back to, or close to New Georgia. For reasons unbeknownst. Oh, great. There's more out here. Now, initially I thought, I'm going to pause the recording here. It's just going to be one of those sort of non-encounters. It's not. It is not a non-encounter, it's the cod and the bonefish, the guys who are heading back to base because they're almost out of torpedoes, if not out of torpedoes entirely. Encountering 2 destroyers. One of which seems to be heavily damaged. I'm not sure if it's... Yeah. Are you still making any kind of speed? You're doing 4 knots. Right. Sea state? 3. I still have some torpedoes. I might be able to sink 1. You know what? Let's try it. I'm just going to creep up to him to see if I can get rid of that cavitation. There we go. We're no longer cavitating. Stop cavitating. You're making a ton of noise. Apparently that's a factor, which I only learned about recently. Some games actually treat it as a factor. Some games only treat it as a visual effect. Bonefish only has, what, 1? 1 torpedo left on the bow. And 4 ready on the stern, plus another 6 in reserve. So I might actually be better off launching the stern at target 2. And then turning away. It seems like target 1 is not really doing much of anything. It might not know that we're here. I'm not running scopes. I'm not running radars. I'm going very much stealthy on this one. Is that not a Hatsuharu? No, it's not a Hatsuharu. Shira? I know I attacked one of these guys before. Especially considering the amount of damage that they're taking, or that they have taken. This one probably got hit by a torpedo. If not more than 1. Because it was definitely not part of the air attack that I just took in. Considering that it's not escorted by a light cruiser. Or maybe the light cruiser was doing the escorting. At any rate, we can launch the stern battery or the stern torpedo tubes from the Bonefish. And Shiratsuyu already has we have a solution of 78 against the Shiratsuyu, so that's fine. The angle, however, is not really to my liking. I want you guy, really? I want you to turn away from the target. She's doing 4 knots, you're doing 1. But you still have bow torpedoes. 6 of them, in fact. And another 10 in reserve on the back. Range, 3,000 yards. We're just going to have to sneak into position. Make sure we get a good angle on them. And then launch. Bonefish, steady as she goes. I want you over there. I think Shiratsuyu is just kind of cruising around. And the other destroyer... is that a Minakaze or Wakataki? Is just heading away from the combat altogether. She's doing 15 knots. I thought she was going to turn around there, but she's not. She's just heading away. Caught that way. Range to the shear is 2,800 yards. Damn, I do have quite a bit sticking out of the water, don't I? But I'm not seeing any indication that I have been detected. Because normally when you get detected in a submarine, they start charging you. They go right to your position and they make sure that you don't have a submarine for very long. But these guys, they seem oblivious. Which works perfectly well for me because the Shiratsuyu is a sitting duck and the other destroyer is currently not a threat. And is making itself less of a threat the farther away that they go. So I can just have this guy keep... Oh, hold on. It just turned. It's like it's heading almost directly for the bonefish. Interesting. At this point, it might be better to just launch torpedoes from the cod, the stern tubes of the cod, to get rid of that destroyer up there. Bonefish, new plan, turn to starboard. Stop. Solution 78, I'll take it. We're going to go with all 4 torpedoes with a 3-degree spread. Considering we have a good solution, target's 2,200 meters, or 2,200 yards. Send them out. Oh, we're cavitating again. We're still running around at 4 knots. Okay, I want you to go down. There's no layer. Oh, crap. We might have outstayed our welcome here. Shiratsuyu once again back on the screens. Are you suddenly going to start turning? Well, we might get 2 torps on. Yeah, 1 hit. Not a dud. 2 hits. Very good. Okay. That should kill off the Shiratsuyu. Meaning that Bonefish, with her stern battery, might be able to take on that destroyer. If she is, I need to know what it is. So here we go again. Is that a mini? Torp? No, not a mini. Oh, sorry, this is the Minikaze. I was looking at the Momi. Gun, torp, gun, 2 funnels. Target 1 assumed. Minikaze. Shiratsuyu's heavily listing to starboard. No more propulsion. I think she's done for. Bonefish, steady course. Let's see what that Minikaze's doing. Lost the target. How are you not dead yet? Critical. You're basically dead, you just don't know it yet. The thing is, I cannot leave until that destroyer is confirmed dead. Oh, and here comes the other guy. Is he coming right at me or not? Let's go. Pretty much. I don't quite like where this is headed. It doesn't seem to be moving terribly quickly, just 16 knots. It's at 1,000 yards already. Oh, now we got her. More importantly, she might have me as well. Come on, I really don't want to lose another sub here. Range 542. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something here. Dive, get the hell out. Cod. I need you to come the hell back. Go back to periscope depth. We definitely outstayed our welcome, but I cannot leave. Because the Shiratsuyu is not dead yet. I know I'm cavitating, by the way, but I'm just trying to make as little contact with this destroyer as possible. Seems to be working so far. I haven't taken any damage. How are your stern launchers? Ready. Okay. That's a bit deep. Range 345. The closer I can get, the better it'll be. Minakaze seems to be holding at 4 knots. Depth 210. 208. Come on. Just periscope depth. Range 450. Is the Minakaze holding position? Is she just listening out for my submarine, trying to find me again? Depth 170. I hope that thing's going to get scuttled. They found us again. God, I really need you here. Minakaze range 566 yards. Depth 129. We're too deep to launch torps at him. Even if we wouldn't be, I probably wouldn't be able to hit him. As I've seen in a previous episode, it generally doesn't work terribly well to just throw out singular torps out the back and hope that they do something. I need to start running towards the cod. What's the damage on this ship? Seems to have a slightly blackened bow. The rest is probably operational, so this gun might be out, but I cannot rely on that. Here comes the Minakaze again. We're gonna have to go down before they ram us to death. You overshot me there a little bit, buddy. Did you though? Nope, serious damage. Oh, fuck me. Emergency blow. We're gonna have to surface. I'm losing too many submarines lately. I really don't like it. Is the Shira still moving? No, she's not, is she? Shira, range 1300. Oh crap, they knocked out the bow launcher. Okay, well there goes that plan. New plan. Stern launcher. All torps, manual fire. Straight at the Minakaze, please. There. Hard to port. Starboard. Not the port. I'm not sure exactly where I'm throwing these torps out now, but I'm not. Crap. Yeah, Bonefish is dead. Damn it. Cod. Silent running. Stay at 1 knot. Shiratsuyu's still not dead. I want to sink the Shiratsuyu and get at least 1 submarine out of here. I'm going to send 2 torpedoes at the bow. 1 degree of separation. What? What are you even firing at? I didn't set a manual target yet. Oh, I had the wrong submarine selected, didn't I? In my panic. Okay, I'm making a ton of noise with all of these weapon launches. Gonna go deep. Give me 250. We're not gonna reload any tubes. I'm gonna run silent. Just sink this Shiratsuyu. And make sure that at least the COD makes it out of this fight. There we go. She's done for. Okay, now we can leave. Minakazi's coming at me again, but I'll be gone before that happens. Done. So, kind of a 1-for-1. I lost the Bonefish, they lost the Shiratsuyu. Bonefish displaced slightly more, but okay. So, we still have at least one destroyer around, and we have that group of the light cruiser and the destroyer. I want those things sunk in this episode. Now, a little while later, I find the destroyer, or a destroyer. I think it's the one that's the surviving one, so the Minakazi. It's the Amberjack and the Guardfish who found it, which is not what I was hoping for. I was hoping that the Avengers would find it, but okay, here we go. Let's see what the situation is. Contact. Yeah. It's the Minakazi. Is that still damaged? Minor. But she's racing around at 29 knots. Heading away from me, in fact. 16 knots. Even if I wanted to, I can't catch that. We're gonna have to do something else against this. Oh, wait, what? I have the Avengers in the area. Oh. Well, some of them anyway. In that case, we're going to turn these guys around before they leave the battle and strike with 8 Avengers. Yeah, okay, flight 1 left. That's fine. Just leave. Because my submarines might not be able to catch him, but my Avengers sure will. Avengers, pay attention. We are going to line up formation abreast. Other Avengers, same deal. Form up formation abreast. Please increase to 238, maximum speed, and start going down to 700 feet. Range to the target, 50,000 yards. It's going to take me a while. After a bit of fast forwarding, we're now only 13,000 yards out from the destroyer. Our plan is to attack from 2 different angles. Ideally, side by side, so the ship doesn't have anywhere to go, but a cross drop might also work. I don't know how aggressively the ship's going to turn. That's the problem. Avenger Group 5 is 12,000 yards away, so are these. So I'm going to tell these to attack and these to attack. And this way, hopefully, we're going to drop 8 torpedoes in a cross formation. And, well, we might be able to hit 1 or 2. Depending, of course, on the amount of duds, that's going to just or just not sink the target. Because I found that there's really no way to predict what sort of an outcome you're going to get. This destroyer is still doing 16 knots. At this point, it should know that it's coming under air attack. It should have some idea that problems are coming in. I think we can see the dots over there. That's Avenger Wing 9. And there's Avenger Wing 5. Range, 2,800 yards. This might be a cross drop. That was... well, I think it was... if it works, it's one of my best executed airstrikes yet. This is Flight 5. Flight 5 successful. And we're immediately climbing back up to altitude. Torpedoes No! No! This went from my most beautifully executed airstrike to the worst one. Oh my god. We managed to do tic-tac-toe with the guy, but we hit nothing! Oh god, that was atrocious. Okay, we're gonna call that Tic Tac Torp. Come on. That was terrible. I'm ashamed of that display. Send out the Dauntless. Let these guys patch it up. I cut out another bit here, but it turns out that it is interesting to actually record this. I have the haddock and herring in contact with enemy aircraft. But not just that. There's an enemy submarine in the area. I don't know if it's possible to torpedo a submarine with another submarine in this game, but I guess we're about to find out. The enemy target is a mere 4,500 yards out, so she's really quite close. I'm not sure if she's aware of my presence. I was kind of aware of hers because she launched a scout aircraft. But beyond that, I did not really have a clue whether it was going to be a submarine or whether we were going to be looking at a scout cruiser, for example, a light cruiser. Turns out it is the sub. And that sub is at periscope depth. Now, I don't know if we can hit that. Wow, we even identified it as a Type B1. Solution 90... Wow. That is really good. That solution. So we're going to try and torpedo a submarine. Just to see if we can. For science. Ideally though, I would get quite a bit closer. I'm also really curious to see how the AI is going to treat this, because I'm not sure if they're programmed to take on enemy submarines. It's, I'd say, pretty easy to have an AI just go after a couple of surface contacts. Attack a convoy, sink a destroyer, whatever it is. But can they actually be tasked with going after something like this? I don't know. So we're going to send out just 3 torps with a 1 degree of separation, considering that our firing solution is so good at 94. Let's see if this works. I imagine it won't, because the submarine is submerged and the torpedoes travel on the surface. So I guess that we're not really going to see any kind of an impact here. But I am curious to see what the submarine will do. Is it going to take evasive action? Is it suddenly going to go and, well, get spooked in any way? Let's see. Where are my torps at? There. I think you can see something sticking out of the water just at the edge of the screen there. You're still plowing along. Seemingly oblivious to any problems. Here come the torps. Well, if they're gonna do anything, they're gonna scare the shit out of them. Okay, so that didn't work. Makes for a nice image, though. Oh, look at that. They must have heard that. I think as Jingles would put it, that was probably brown alert. Although these guys are very steadfast in their course. They're not going anywhere. Okay, this is not a fight that either party can win. Let's just leave. Still amusing, though. I wanted to test that for science. Alright, well, this is where I'm going to leave you this episode. Next episode, we're going to continue hunting and finally get this airbase out of action. The Shortland Islands have been launching aircraft, at least that's my suspicion, for long enough. The Washington is going to make short work of that, and then the Massachusetts is going to take up position over there and intercept any further surface contacts. So join me in episode 38, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon for another episode.